They say procrastination is the art of keeping up with yesterday. Well folks, I'm living in the renaissance of that art form. I'm the Picasso of procrastination, the Michelangelo of making excuses. I would be the Da Vinci of delay. But he actually finished the Mona Lisa. I'm still working on my masterpiece. Now some might say procrastination is a bad thing, a time thief, a productivity killer, but I like to think of it as a misunderstood art form, a delicate dance with time, where you're always one misstep away from falling flat on your face. Take cleaning for instance. Without procrastination I would never discover the joy of vacuuming at 3 in the morning, or the thrill of finding a long-lost sandwich under the couch, not to mention the archaeological excitement of discovering a civilization of dust bunnies under the bed. Now let's move on to culinary adventures, like that time I was supposed to be working on a report. But instead, I ended up baking a 3-tiered chocolate ganache cake. Did it help with the report? No, but it did help me realize I could give Mary Berry a run for her money. Then there's the education. I've learned more from procrastination than I ever did in school. Why, just last week instead of filing my taxes I watched a 3-hour documentary on the mating habits of the Icelandic puffin. Now I'm not saying it's going to come in handy, but if I ever end up on a game show, and they ask for puffin trivia, I'm set. Now, let's talk about exercise. I've done more laps around my apartment avoiding work than I ever have at the gym. I'm pretty sure I've developed a new workout routine, the procrastinator's Pilates. It involves a lot of running away from responsibilities and jumping to conclusions. But for all its quirks and quibbles, procrastination is a part of me. It's like a loyal yet mischievous pet, always there, always causing trouble. But you can't help but love it. I'm pretty sure I have a Ph.D. in procrastination. And let me tell you, the thesis was due last year. But in the grand tradition of procrastination, I'm confident it will be done, eventually. Maybe after another round of Pilates. Procrastination turns us into the most creative, productive people you've ever met, just not in ways that actually matter. It's the magical time when we transform into superhuman cleaners, organizers, researchers, and yes, even philosophers. You ever notice how your home suddenly becomes a model for those clean house magazine spreads right before a big deadline? Oh, I'm not talking about just dusting off a shelf or two. I'm talking about deep cleaning. The kind of cleaning that has you on your knees. And not in a good way, at 2 in the morning, scrubbing the grout lines on your kitchen tiles with a toothbrush. You find yourself inventing new cleaning solutions. Oh, a mix of baking soda, vinegar, and a dash of existential dread works every time. And then there's the great sock organization of 2024. Suddenly, your sock drawer becomes a project that would put Marie Kondo to shame. These socks spark joy, these don't. These are my I'm feeling sassy socks, and these are my I've given up on life socks. I mean, who knew socks could be so emotionally diverse? And let's not forget about the sudden urge to become an armchair expert on the most obscure topics. You know you're procrastinating when you're 4 hours deep into a documentary on the mating habits of the rare Tanzanian dung beetle. And you don't just stop there. Oh no, you take notes, make diagrams, and even consider starting a blog about it. But the sweetest part of the procrastination pie? The sudden realization that you've become a master of useless trivia. You might not remember where you kept your car keys, but you can tell the exact migration route of the monarch butterfly. And you never know when that might come in handy. You see folks, procrastination isn't about doing nothing, it's about doing everything else. It's about becoming a cleaning guru, a sock therapist, and a dung beetle aficionado. It's about mastering the art of avoiding what you're supposed to be doing, in the most creative ways possible. Did it help my work? No. But if Jeopardy ever calls, I'm your man for the butterfly migration category. Social media, that's not a distraction, that's a research tool. It's a place where procrastinators like me go to become virtual Sherlock Holmes. We're not just scrolling through pictures of cute dogs and food. Oh no, we're conducting in-depth investigations into people we barely know. You know, it's funny how you start off checking your notifications and end up on your friend's cousin's boyfriend's sister's page, stalking her vacation photos from 2012. And let's not even talk about the accidental like on that photo. It's like a digital footprint at a crime scene. Then there's the endless scrolling through the comment section of a viral post. It's like watching an episode of Real Housewives of the Internet. And you think, I'll just read a few comments. But then someone mentions a conspiracy theory about avocados. And the next thing you know, you're 3 hours deep into a heated debate about whether or not avocados are secretly alien eggs. And don't get me started on Instagram stories. They're like the procrastinators' version of a soap opera. Oh look, Karen got a new plant. Wait, why is she crying? Oh no, the plant died. Well, that was a roller coaster. Then there's the pet profiles. You know you're deep in the procrastination hole when you're following a pug from New Zealand who has a better fashion sense than you. I mean, who needs to finish that report when you can watch Mr. Snuffles trying on his new bow tie? But the cherry on the cake? The pet profiles of people you barely know? Like, I don't remember what I was supposed to be doing, but I can tell you everything about my coworker's sister's boyfriend's dog. His name is Bark Twain, he loves tennis balls, and his favorite treat is peanut butter. So you see, social media isn't a distraction, it's an education. I might not have finished my work, but I've become an expert in canine fashion and avocado conspiracies. Ask me about a golden retriever from Ohio, and I've got you covered. The gym? Oh, I suddenly become a fitness enthusiast. The moment a deadline is in sight, my biceps start itching for some dumbbell action. My legs? They're craving a marathon, and my abs? They're screaming for a six-pack. No, not that kind of six-pack, although that does sound tempting. See, when procrastination hits, my body transforms into this temple of health and fitness. A temple that conveniently forgets about the mountain of work waiting for me. Suddenly, I'm not just going for a casual jog, I'm training for the Olympics. I'm not just doing a few sit-ups, I'm sculpting a masterpiece. Michelangelo had his marble, I have my flabby belly. But let me tell you, nothing screams productivity like spending 2 hours researching the best protein shake recipe, while your report sits untouched. Or how about spending half a day shopping for the perfect pair of running shoes? Because let's face it, you can't possibly start writing until your feet are comfortably ensconced in athletic footwear. I mean, it's all about priorities, right? And don't even get me started on yoga. Suddenly I feel this spiritual calling. Namaste, I say to my untouched work as I fold myself into a pretzel. I'm cultivating inner peace, I say, while my deadline quietly weeps in the corner. Even my playlist gets a workout, because you can't possibly exercise without the right tunes. The time it takes to curate the perfect procrastination pump-up playlist, roughly the same amount of time it should have taken me to finish my project. But the real workout? That's the mental gymnastics I perform to convince myself that this sudden health kick isn't just another form of procrastination. It's for my well-being, I say. Exercise boosts productivity, I say. Meanwhile, my project deadline is doing sit-ups in the corner trying to get my attention. So, yes, the gym? Oh, I suddenly become a fitness enthusiast? Is it productive? No. Is it fun? Absolutely. But when it comes to getting my work done, the only thing flowing is my talent for finding excuses. But here's the thing about procrastination, it's all fun and games until you realize your deadline is not just looming, it's practically sitting on your face. Like a well-fed cat that refuses to move, it's purring "I told you so," while you're gasping for breath under its weight. Your mind becomes a war zone. On one side, there's the rational part of your brain, waving a white flag, begging for a ceasefire. "We should have started weeks ago," it pleads, sounding suspiciously like your mom. On the other side, the procrastination beast grins, "We've got time, it's just a 10,000 word essay due tomorrow." Then the panic sets in. It's like someone hit the fast forward button on your life. Suddenly you're in a race against time, and time, my friend, is an Olympic sprinter. Your heartbeat is the new soundtrack of your life, and it's playing a techno remix of "We Will Rock You." The night becomes day, day becomes night, and the concept of time loses all meaning. You're fueled by caffeine and the fear of failure. Sleep? That's a luxury you can't afford. You're pulling an all-nighter, or as I like to call it, the procrastinator's sunrise. Now you're typing like a madman, words pouring out of you like a broken faucet. You're not just writing, you're crafting a masterpiece under pressure. Shakespeare? He's got nothing on you. You're living proof that diamonds are made under pressure. And then, by some miracle, you hit the finish line. The work is done, submitted with seconds to spare. You're exhausted, your eyes are burning, and there's a good chance you've sprouted a few more gray hairs, but you've done it. You've beaten the clock. That's the secret power of procrastination. It pushes you to the brink, then transforms you into a superhero. You become a sleep-deprived, caffeine-fueled, deadline meeting machine. It's a wild ride, but hey, who needs a calm sea when you're a storm? Procrastination, turning ordinary people into sleep-deprived, caffeine-fueled, deadline meeting heroes. Alright team, we've successfully put off the inevitable and reached the grand finale of our masterclass in procrastination. It's time to wrap this up. I was supposed to finish this sentence tomorrow. Keep the chuckle train chugging and drop your proudest procrastination triumphs or epic fails down in the comments. Were you so productive avoiding work that you accidentally found a cure for boredom? Let us know. Thanks for sticking around the Quirky Chronicle channel, where we're committed to not taking anything seriously, except our commitment to goofiness. Remember, life doesn't have to be a drag, especially when you can drag everything till the last minute. Find your funny folks, and maybe, just maybe, do that thing you've been putting off or not. There's always tomorrow.